Hello, and welcome to the Grumpy Vegan Grandad Show. There is no need to adjust the screen resolution on your computer, PC, or smart device. I am not the Grumpy Vegan Grandad. I have hair. My name is Tony. I am one of the co-hosts of the show who will be involved in the show a lot more as time goes on. Predominantly, I hope in some of the comedy sketches, which is really my forte because I love comedy, I love humor, I love making people laugh, and I think if we can spread our message about veganism, that injecting some humor into things, then why not? Because we have to be a bit self-deprecating and have a laugh at our own expenses, and also just spread a bit of joy around the world. So yeah, that's going to be my role. This is actually like the third attempt that I've had of trying to make one of these videos because been doing them tonight, and batteries ran out on two occasions, and then something happened in the last one where my screen just went off. So look, I'm not going to ramble on for ages and ages and ages because also nobody wants to watch me chat for ages and ages. Just some random guy who you probably don't even know. Um, but yeah, I think it was important that on this channel that we're setting up, if I'm going to be involved in it, then I need to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about me, my journey. Danny's done a great job in setting everything up. But yeah, if I'm going to take an active part in it, then I guess you better know who I am. So, in a nutshell, my name is Tony. I am 32. I became vegan very recently in 2019. Before that, was vegetarian for a year, and I've become vegan for all the right reasons. I've had my eyes opened to a lot of things that obviously I'd just been switched off to all my life because that's how we're brought up, it's how we're conditioned. Um, there is a serious disconnect with your food on your plate, the meat that's on your plate, and the animals that it comes from. We all know where it comes from, but unless you actually see certain things that you can't unsee, then you will always have that disconnect. And having seen things and read things and done my research around it all, I just felt that there was no way that I could go back. Um, I went vegan. Um, Obviously for those reasons. The Probably the biggest person that I could say that's had the influence on me to do that would be my partner Cherie, who was in the last video that you would have seen, where Danny went to the vigil. That hot piece of totty called Cherie, who was speaking to Danny whilst holding up a placard outside a tulip. I've been with her for 6 years, and while she has never ever, and I must maintain this, never ever put any pressure on me to be a vegetarian or vegan. What I can say is that her compassion rubbed off on me completely, because obviously being with her and spending time within the circles of friends and people that she spends time with, I got exposed to a lot of things and saw a lot of things, and in the end, I guess I just sort of felt like I was making excuses to myself and not necessarily to her because she never expected it of me and never asked me and said, you have to become vegan, you have to become vegetarian, otherwise I'll dump you. Because if that was the case, then we wouldn't be where we are now in our lovely little home with our lovely little girl. Suffice to say, obviously, now that she's very happy that I've become vegan. Maybe that was part of her secret master plan all along. I don't know. But nah, she's been great. She's never put any pressure on me. But ultimately, just seeing the things that she saw, experiencing the things that she experienced, and also living predominantly a vegetarian lifestyle at home because we just used to eat vegetarian and vegan stuff at home because it was just easier. I kind of just stopped running out. I just ran out of excuses as to why I'm still doing this. It wasn't fair on the animals. And I guess I just woke up one day, and literally it was just one day, and I just thought, all right, well, I've eaten meat all my life. I know what it tastes like. If I'm gonna do it, I just need to do it. Because I've run out of reasons. So yeah, I'll just do it. And yeah, she didn't actually believe that I was gonna do it. She was like at the time, yeah, but you just love your meat too much. You know you'll probably never do it. And I was like, nope, I will. And that was it. Literally, yeah, stopped eating meat. And then she became vegan not long afterwards, in the January of last year, and I followed suit not long after that. And it's really not been a hard transition for me at all. I love my meat. I genuinely did love my meat. Had staple favourites like lamb and pork. But I can honestly say that the substitutes now that we eat, be they meat substitutes, be they plant substitutes that we have for different meals, my hunger is satisfied every night. So I don't go to sleep thinking, oh, I really crave a bit of meat, because my hunger is satisfied. And I think that's the biggest thing that I can say for people who go down that route of saying that they would miss meat too much to become to become vegan. It's that actually your hunger can be satisfied by eating meat substitutes or by eating plant substitutes. Because if you eat like a big massive meal with like chips and some like vegan cheese on it and like loads of like jalapenos and a big vegan burger and uh, onion rings, and you eat all that, you're not going to be hungry afterwards. Your hunger's going to be satisfied. So you can still be an unhealthy, lazy person, lazy so and so, and eat all the crap that you want. If that's what you want to do, or you can be healthy, just like you could do if you wanted to eat meat. The only difference is that the vegan lifestyle, nothing has to die for it. And if you could have the choice between eating food that satisfies your hunger, that doesn't end up in animal cruelty and something having to die, or eating something that satisfies your hunger and does end up with animal cruelty and has to die, why would you choose that one if you could have your hunger satisfied the other way? And genuinely, it does. People will say that they can't be satisfied by vegan food. You've not tried it. So try the diet and see. And actually, you might find that actually, yeah, you can do it. So you have run out of justification as to why you eat your meat. Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. I'm hoping this channel can bring a little bit of humour into people's lives. We really want to do something a little bit different that hasn't been done a lot with vegan activism. We want to be a bit more self-deprecating in ourselves, have a bit of banter, have a bit of laugh, interview some people in a very light-hearted way, and try and promote veganism in that way, and not the negative way that some people perceive vegan activists to do. Which, by the way, I don't think any vegan activist does try to promote it in a negative way. I think there are some vegan activists that are very passionate, who get very frustrated about having to constantly battle against some really seriously well drilled and rehearsed misconceptions that have been around for such a long time, and having to use the same rhetoric over and over again, and can get a little bit angry. But hey, look, they're passionate about animals, you know. And yeah, people get wound up about that because they feel like people are trying to tell them what to do. I don't want to be someone that tells someone what to do, but I will ask questions and say, well, why is it that you're doing that? Why couldn't you do this? Have you ever thought about it before? What do you mean when you say that? And I think by asking questions and really putting the emphasis back onto them, I think that's how you make people reflect. Again, people don't like that because they don't feel like they should have to reflect on something, because at the end of the day, the diet's probably something they've not really considered much about. And no one wants to have to consider the fact that they're a murderer or a rapist, which are often very strong words that are used. And even though to all intents and purposes it's true with regards to veganism, because that's what we do to the animals when we eat them, people don't wake up in the morning wanting to be associated with those sorts of terms. They're not comfortable with it, and rightly so. But then the alternative, if you don't want to be associated with that, is to just stop eating it. So there you go. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell. I've rambled on. Danny had mentioned to me, let's put something on here for you. get yourself out there. So I have done. I hope people have watched it and not being too offended by anything that I've said. But if you have, then please talk about it at the bottom, because that's what we want. We want you to talk about it, because the more we're talking about this subject and raising awareness of it, then the more that it spreads out. And any talking about it for me is good talking about it. And it's great that it's so in the mainstream now. What a great marker it is today as well that us vegans have now been given. It's been passed in the news that veganism is seen as a philosophical belief, and therefore we should be given equal rights under the Equality Act of 2010, which stretches out into schools and restaurants and workplace, which is fantastic because it is needed. There's a lot of prejudice around veganism, and I think we need to get more of an equal footing now in the world. So that's another fantastic move. Great as well that more restaurants and stuff are doing options. I tried the vegan steak bake today, which was really, really good. Did also try the McDonald's dippers. Was not a fan, but looking forward to getting hold of the KFC burger, which apparently is supposed to be really good, but I've not been able to find one yet. Yeah, so it's all good. And yeah, as I'm someone that likes to throw out questions, this is my question to you guys. If you're still watching, and if you are, God bless you. What's your beef with veganism? Be you a vegan and you have a lot of issues with trying to adjust to the diet, or maybe the perceptions of other people and their aggression that you're constantly met with when you even just raise the word vegan. Or be you a meat eater and a non-vegan? What's your beef with veganism? Is it the way that certain activists come across? What is it that you really dislike about it? Yeah, probably a controversial one to start off with, but let's get people talking. Because I think by talking about things that you have grievances with about an issue, we can begin to try to solve it together as we walk forward. And also, it'll give us great ammunition for the videos to discuss. So please, tell us, what is your beef about veganism? Thank you very much. I've been Tony. I have done my first video. Bloomin' heck, it's been 12 minutes. Who's going to want to watch this? I don't even know what I've said. I've just rambled on, but I'm just going to post it. So cheers. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.